Here's a new installment of Mr. Luna's Backyard Science. In this episode, we're going to talk about ecological succession. There are two types. Your first type is primary. That's when newly developed land is formed, mainly from lava flow. Lava flow happens, lands are able to develop like an island, and then from there we're able to get pioneer plants, and ecology is able to start life. The second one is secondary succession. And in this case, this happens usually after a forest fire or some natural disaster, and another natural disaster is humans. And in which case, I've taken you guys to an area that humans, us, have started to make construction. And so you had a lot of construction workers come in, destroy the land, but life is able to still thrive. And we still have a lot of plants that are growing naturally in the desert habitat. So I'm going to go over a few examples of secondary succession that I can do here, and then I'm going to use primary to show internet photos on how life is still able to thrive and start. And the first type I want to talk to you about is primary succession. Primary succession is the success of life after newly developed land. For example, lava, volcanoes. They form new land like the islands of Hawaii. You have lichens and moss. You have this kind of plant right here. And these kind of plants are called pioneer plants because they are the leading pioneers in the newly development of life. They are helping to start the important cycles like the phosphorus cycle, the carbon cycle, and the nitrogen cycle to allow life now to flourish and to develop new communities of different species to emerge. The second type is called secondary succession. More commonly in nature, this is usually after a catastrophic fire. Now, fires are natural. I know right now most fires are started due to human activity, but fires have always been a part of nature. And so what this allows is it allows still these pioneer plants to allow them to develop new communities, but now the biomass has completely increased due to these fires. Biomass means the amount of available energy. All this fire has caused is renewable energy to be available for new plants to emerge, for a new community to emerge. Sometimes these communities vary in allowing different species to come by, and sometimes this allows for a relatively similar community based on its environments. But no matter what, it's going to start the competitive nature of these plants and these other species to emerge. So this is a small example of secondary succession. You can see how humans, us, we started to construct on this land. There's bulldozing and so forth, but yet this weed, this plant, is showing that there's still some life. There's still a nitrogen cycle. There's still a carbon cycle, enough life to get this to grow. If this area was left alone, they would develop enough soil to allow this now rocky area to turn it back into a relatively similar microhabitat, or at least an area to allow other species of the community to thrive. And thanks again for watching Mr. Luna's Backyard Science. Hopefully you have a better understanding of ecological succession. We talked about two types. The first type is primary succession, and the second type is secondary succession. And they both have similar examples. They both need a pioneer species, one to kickstart important cycles that life needs to thrive, and the other is the increased amount of biomass. And again, biomass is new renewable energy that plants can use to start brand new communities. See you next time.